Brendan, just start Manager of the Month for November. Your thoughts? Congratulations.
Well, a real collective effort by everyone. So the team has performed fantastically well, and all the staff have been really supportive. So yeah, on to the next game.
Alistair was in there and saying that game at Aberdeen the other night is the kind of game that does win you titles because you had to dig deep. Would you go along with that?
Well, I think that what has been so pleasing over the course of the season has been the variety of ways of which we can win. I think that's always important as a team. I think our ethos here and our idea and our style is always to play fast, aggressive attacking football, always with tactical discipline. So that's our idea. And you'll have seen numbers of games this season where we've seen that identity of the team. But you also have to respect that other teams aren't going to allow you to do that all the time, and they're going to come and make it difficult for you. Like Aberdeen, who've done really well this season. They were really compact, tight, they break the game up, so you don't quite have your flow. So you then have to still persist in your work, trust your possession, trust the speed of your game in horrendous weather conditions, and then look for those moments, which might only be few and far between, but you have to try to find them, and that's what we've done. So I think over the course of the season, that's been the real pleasing aspect of our victories and wins, and none better than, like you say, the game the other night to demonstrate that.
Away from the league, the SPFL today charged Celtic, Motherwell and Rangers with the pyrotechnics at the League Cup semi-finals. What's your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction is exactly the same as what it is when I see it at any other ground or any team, and is that it's the safety is of paramount importance. I think for firstly the people in the stands. I always worry about people that are in and around that area when they're going off. When you're young, sometimes you don't see the dangers, you don't see or think of other people, but that's a concern for me, for supporters, especially our own supporters when they're there. And then my concern is also for then the players, because when you're preparing for a game, a football, it's detailed your preparation to the second, so that you're ready to go whenever the kickoff is ready to start. And I think we're 14 minutes delay in that semi-final. Now that can be the cause of someone getting injured, especially when it's at this time of the year. You know, you prepare your details there. You go to start the game, but you can't. You're standing about, you're waiting. So all that preparation that you've put in, the body's cold again then, the muscles then are at risk. So these are the little things that maybe you would never think about when you're holding the flare or sticking something up in the air. But I just think that the safety element of it for supporters and players is of paramount. So it's not just Celtic, it's the message and notion is for every club.
There have been UEFA charges for this before, but this is the first time the SPFL have taken action. Has that surprised you?
It's not as a surprise. I just think it's something that should be done. I don't see what it adds to the game. So I think it's right that they look into it and try to stop it. Hopefully.
The away fans in Europe have sort of heeded the warning from the last time when it was in danger of maybe a fan closure or whatnot. I suppose the hope is that this may be the first, but hopefully the last when it comes to the league as well, and the fans do listen, because there's also a monetary value as well, maybe a fine coming or whatnot, and these all add up, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think for across the board, I think it's the league have the possibility then to create a sanction that ensures that hopefully it doesn't happen, because the Celtic support, but what we get without all of that is absolutely amazing. The colour, the noise, the energy, what it gives us on the field is absolutely amazing. So the Paris doesn't add anything. It doesn't add anything. We get this amazing support. It's renowned worldwide. Our support base is iconic. Everyone wants to play at Celtic Park. Everyone wants to be here. Why? Because of the supporters. So we want to keep it that way, and hopefully, as I said, like the league domestically can do something as well.
Back on the field, a huge week, 3 massive games. Just how excited are you in the squad for what could be a real season-defining week if all things go well?
Well, the focus is tomorrow. I think that was clearly on our mind after Aberdeen. Get back, recover, and then look to bring our game and be really proactive in the game tomorrow. So so I'm looking forward to it. We love playing at home. We love the energy. Our last home game, we were absolutely brilliant. Our idea is to bring a similar game, and yeah, that's something I'm excited about.
What you made of the job that David Grace done? Seemed to turn it around after quite a difficult spell in charge at Hibs.
Yeah, well, I'm delighted for David. You get that first win, and when you're young as a manager and you're into it new, you know, the sleepless nights, and you know, you're thinking of everything, and I think they've been unfortunate in some games where they haven't picked up the result earlier, but obviously the point that they got against Aberdeen will have helped confidence, especially to come back late on, and then to get that victory against Motherwell, that it certainly makes the food taste nicer on a Saturday night. So so I'm happy for him that he gets the win, and he will look to obviously build on that. It's a big club, Hibs. They expect to be up challenging at the top, and like I said, David's the perfect guy to help them get there. It's just sometimes it takes that little bit of time to get going.
Does the point cushion to second place now give you a chance to utilise the full squad, maybe rest some players over the weekend that you might start in Europe or at the Cup final next week?
Not really. We were doing that anyway. So I think for me it's just about obviously using the squad. I've total trust in the group of players to play. So whatever team will send out for tomorrow was out to attack the game.
Has it been tough to make them focus on this one without looking too far ahead?
Not really. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say you don't think ahead. Of course you do. That's the nature of my job. I have to plan forward, of course. But always you have to look to the next game as your priority. You need to understand what it is you're thinking about for clearly the Zagreb game, like I was when we had Ross County, but we had Aberdeen. So you have to plan forward, but that's the exciting part of the job. It's absolutely brilliant. I've got a great group of players that are hungry, that are ambitious, and they all want to play, which is great. If they don't, they respect whoever's playing. They look after their colleague, and then we're all in to get the result.
And in terms of squad health, then, you know, in terms of this weekend, have we got any knocks or anyone struggling at all?
No, we're all good. We're in a really, really good place. So, and I think that is also part of the rotation. I think what enables us to do that, because sometimes if you don't have it's the knock-on effect. If you don't have the depth of squad and the strength in your squad, you may be having to play players for 90 plus minutes 3 times a week, playing them all the time, which is then you have a greater risk of injury. What we've been able to do is manage the minutes of the players, and where there has been maybe a little niggle, we can then take someone out, or if someone has played a lot more minutes, then we have that possibility to take them out. That's the benefit of having a depth of squad. So I've really enjoyed that aspect of it, picking the teams to put out, and then and giving that opportunity for some of them to have some breathing space. It also can depend on the game that you're playing and what it is you want from the game. That will decide who plays also.
Ben, if we just ask you a wee bit about the pyro again, the charges. Do you think it's fair that, you know, we've spoken about strict liability in this country for years now, and the SPFL have always told us that's unmanageable and won't work. Is it fair that the clubs are the ones who are being punished when the game was at hand and there's very little you can do about that kind of behaviour? Or do you hope that maybe it registers with the fans that it's the club that suffers when you do act like this?
Well, it's a wee bit of both, but I think ultimately it comes from the federation. For me, that's where the sanction should really come from. I think I haven't actually looked into the real depths of it. I obviously get the headline and I see a little bit of it, and I think, yeah, that seems logical and common sense. But I think, you know, if you have your league and the responsibility with your league, working with your, as I said, your federation to govern the game and make it as safe and enjoyable as we possibly can. I know that's sometimes a wee bit of a challenge up here, you know, because I do sometimes. I look at some of the things that we do. We must have the richest league in the world up here because I see stands that are empty. So clubs must be full of money that they don't need the people in the grounds and the stadia. But no, we can only hope that side of it, the Pyro side, that we can take that away from the games and let it be a safe place, because the passion up here for football is amazing. You know, you actually don't need them to create the atmosphere up here. It's absolutely incredible. Supporters are passionate. They love their game. They love their football. Let them go and be safe in watching it.
Brendan, can I just back to football again? Can I just ask you about Casper and his influence in the team? I thought even the other night, Rodgers, everyone was so clean in a really tricky night for him. It seems quite seamless the way he's come in.
Yeah, his style, and that's where it comes into play. You know, those pressure moments. Ball goes back, especially conditions like that there. Goalkeepers, or some, might not be as comfortable, so they then can end up just defending it and going long too early, and then it comes right back at you. But he brings the calmness. You know, he's, as I said, I've worked with him a long time, and I know his qualities. A world-class shot stopper. He's great with his feet. His authority in the game was superb, and like you say, his handling is so clean. So he's been massive for us. Just his whole presence and personality, and I'm really happy for him.
I know he's got the option for next year as well, or next season as well. Do you feel he's a guy that can keep going for a while?
Yeah. No, that has always been his ambition. You know, when I first met him back in 2019 in Leicester, he's his hunger and drive and desire. As I said, he's like a young guy, 15 years younger than what he is. You know, he's so much enthusiasm for the game and so much enthusiasm for goalkeeping as well. You know, to throw himself about like he does every single day. I really have a big respect for him. So yeah, he's obviously got his own personal targets in terms of he's got a World Cup that he will hope to be at. But I just know that he's loved his life here. He's enjoying his life, and then and thankfully he's performing at a very high level for us.
How pleased were you for Cameron Carter-Vickers as well, coming up with that massive moment in that game after, you know, probably I think maybe his first mistake in his Celtic career in the Bruges game, but it was such a high profile thing to then show that desire to produce that moment. Yeah,
I said to him and Austin set that up quite well to make themselves look heroic. So he's a brilliant player for us. He's got such authority in the game, and firstly he's defending strong, he's good in duels, reads the game, brave. You go to war with him. He's such a strong character, mentally tough, and but then he can play football. He can pass it. He knows these lines of pass, organises the line well. So yeah, he's a big player for us. And like you say, when you see it back, he's anticipated and reacted to to Austin's touch, and just gets an absolutely critical block on it. And that's what you get from your big players, big moments.